Hi everyone, and welcome back to Starflight Creations, my FlossTube channel, and for the month of August to my August stitching game. So we are now at the end of round 2, so we now are moving on to round 3 this Saturday with our quarterfinalists. We will have it down to 4 people. So we did have 12 people who signed up to sponsor a project at the beginning, which was lots of fun. Sorry, this last weekend has been very hectic, so I don't really remember what I talked about in my last video, so I'm just kind of give a recap of the game so far. So for the first week, let's see if I can get this to show up. Here is my little bracket that I made showing everybody, and if you can't see this, that's fine. I have a little bit more legible posted up on my Instagram channel. But so for the first week, we had 12 people sign up. So that means 12 projects were guaranteed 100 stitches into them by me. And in the first week, the people put in 6,058 stitches onto their own projects in hopes of advancing to the next round. We did have 6 people dropped off from that first round, including me. So, if you're out there being sad, just know that I also got X'd out of my own game. But then we had the next round. So then the next round we had 6 people who competed, and they put in 2,347 stitches into their own projects in hopes to move to round 3. And unfortunately, we only had 4 people move on to round 3. Of those 6 people, 2 of them did not have to face anybody. They just moved on. But we did have 4 people actually compete against each other. So all of the 12 projects in round 1 got 100 stitches. So the minimum each of the projects got was 100 stitches. Then for those that made it to round 2, whether or not they succeeded in round 2 or not, but just for getting the project to round 2, that project got an extra 200 stitches put into it. And then the ones that moved to round 3 got 300 stitches put into it. So when I was going over my stitches for the week as I was working on them, I decided to work on the ones that got knocked out first. Just because that way they only have 100 stitches put into it. I could put the 100 stitches into it, put it away, and then when I was putting stitches into some of the other ones, I wasn't putting 200 stitches in here and then coming back and putting 200 stitches into it the next week. So that's what I got started on. So to start with, the first project I worked on was the project that I was doing for the game, which is a project that I am stitching for my friend Nastasia. It is called Emotion, Bottle That Shut Up by the Witchy Stitcher. And here is what it looks like all done. So first of all, I put in 177 stitches into it, trying to move to round 2. I was not successful in moving on to round 2. So then I went and put in another 223 stitches into it, bringing it up to 410 stitches total out of 3,468, which is 11.8%. This is on a 16 count Aida called Tea Time by Moonlight Dye Works. And this is what it looks like so far. And so I chose this one to work on first because I could take it and do it at Bricks at work because it was small. So that was the first one that I did, and unfortunately, since it got knocked out, all of its stitches are in it, and now it is done until I'm done with my other stitches for the stitching game. So then I moved on to Living Room Set Number 2. This is by Alina Lartsova. This was chosen by my friend Naughty Witch. She also, unfortunately, did not make it out of round 1. And this is on 14 count Black Ada. So I put in 121 stitches into this, which I don't know if you're actually going to be able to see where those stitches went, but because hold on a second, I forgot to show you. This is what it looked like last time, and this is what it looks like this time. And I went up and filled in this little cross thingy here. I put some blues into there, and then there was some blues down in here that I was putting into, and then I was working some of the other colors into here. So for 121 stitches brings this up to 20,060 of 24,627 to 81.5%. I was really hoping that this one was going to go far, since I'm kind of getting down to the last 5%, or last 5,000 stitches. I really wanted to keep working on this one, but unfortunately it did not. So the next one is the Reader. This is a paper pattern, and I can't find the cover sheet for it at the moment, but here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And this was sponsored by, so this is the Reader by Primitive Hair. It's on 14 count hand dyed fabric by me. This was chosen by Moon Phased, who was also knocked out in the first round. And so I put in 179 stitches into this. You can tell that it's mostly, work with me here. Okay. So it is mostly this brown down here at the bottom, and then this other color of brown yellow up in the bookcase that I put in. And again, that was something I could work on during breaks and lunches, so I was able to put a little bit more than 100 stitches into it. And so then the next one I put in went into the Museum After Midnight. This is a sale being hosted by Lola Crow. This is up to, I want to say, the 6th exhibit. But I have now finally got exhibit 8 put into Pattern Keeper. So this one was chosen by QSnap Side Quest. And so I put in 109 stitches into this. And here is where it's at now. And so all of the stitches I put in was all this black down at the bottom, which is in a little raptor that's down there, and then some of the stand for the Triceratops head. So that is now up to 3,854 of 8,821. Again, that's only up to the 8th exhibit, which is 43.7%. So the next one that was chosen was Magic Book by Sacred Thread Designs. This was chosen by Argyle 92. This is on a 14 count white Ada. And again, this got 100 stitches into it. And so I don't have a picture of where this one was last time you saw it, but the 100 stitches just went in. Oh, come work with me here. There we go. So over here in this little castle, it was down at this little notch, and I took it all the way up to the top with that 100 stitches. I was thinking when I pulled this one out, because there is a large bunch of gaps up over here where the ink blotches are, so I was thinking about going in and making those filled back in, kind of like a, well, because it is a full coverage, filling them in that way. But this was done one of the days where I really didn't have a whole lot of time, so I just kind of wanted to get the stitches in, and so the block stitching was the easiest way to get a bunch of stitches in there. And then the last one that only got 100 stitches in and was knocked out was Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing was the, I think, 2023 Sal by Stuart Cunningham. This is on a Blue Navy 14 count Ada, and here's where it was the last time you saw it. Okay, apparently that picture does not want to work, but basically what I did was I went in and put in this little arm that sticks out. So I took that and put that in, and it was all just one color, so that was real easy, and I got 101 stitches in. This now brings it up to 2,293. I have 8,068, which is 28.4%. And this project was chosen by Brito. And this is my oldest project at the moment, so I was kind of hoping on getting some more into this to hit the extra points for Michael of Uplift Stitch's RPG Creator game. But that we'll have to get those at the end of the month after the game, if it does get those. And so then I was done with all of the ones that got knocked out. And so then I moved to, the first one I moved to was Reese. And I apologize for butchering your name last time. So Reese chose to sponsor Happiness, which I bought from Kona, who was an artist on Etsy. And so first of all, here is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And this is on 14 count Logwood Ada. And so I went ahead, first of all, and put in 303 stitches, which brought it up to 876 stitches to 29.3%. But then she passed round 2 and went into round 3, and so it got an extra 300 stitches. So I put in another 301 stitches into it, bringing it up to 1,177 stitches out of 2,994, which is 39.3%. And so this is what it looks like now. So as you can see, I went in and put in the Be Found, and then actually never mind, I went in and put in after the Erin, and then I started on the Light from the Wand, and then I went back up and put in another S up here, at the end of happiness. So I just have one last S that I kind of have to scooch the Q snap over so I can get that one in. And then finish up that D. And then I'll be down through the first two things of words. So I had a lot of fun putting ones into this because you just got, with like even just putting in 100 stitches, you actually saw things get completed. Like this letter got completed, that word got completed. And I kind of have the feeling that she will hit the finals, since she has been putting out basically 1,000 stitches. Well, the first time she put out almost 2,000 stitches, and the last time she put out almost 1,000. So I have a feeling that this one's going to come back out again, which is nice because it is small enough I can take to work and work on it during breaks and lunches. And so the next one that I was working on, the last one I was working on, was Acorns and Friends. This is what it looks like. This is a pattern by Lola Crow. It was originally an exclusive to Acorns and Threads, my local needle shop, but is since become available for everybody and put up online. And I'm doing this one on 20 count Country Mocha. And so this was chosen by Sunshine. And so this one has also made it to round 3. Unfortunately, I do not believe that she will make it to round 4. She could surprise me and beat Reese. And if she does, good for her. So this is where it was last time. And I do remember that last time I put in a thing to have people vote to see where they wanted to go next. And I said Jimothy for the raccoon or Flower for the skunk. I got one vote for Flower. So I did go ahead and put some more work into the skunk. But unfortunately, when I had this, I was working on it at work during lunch and breaks, and so I didn't have but like 3 colors. So once I got that black into that skunk, I really didn't have any other colors to go to fill in the skunk. So I went and put this black, which is a log, and then it gets over to this possum over here, and then I went down, and then this is the caps of some mushrooms, which was almost the entirety of that color. I think there's one little hoop up here that's also that color. But that's like 20 more stitches and that color will be done. So one of the things that I need to do is fully kit this one up. So the next time that I pull it out, I can finish the raccoons and the skunk totally. And because there's a lot of points where it's like it goes from, let me show the picture again. It goes from full coverage, like around the raccoon and down into the grass, and then like all of that grayish color in the back is all not stitched. So then there's a bit where it's not like full coverage. So I kind of want to be able to go in and just finish out the skunk, finish out the raccoon, finish those colors as I'm coming to them, and not just go around with one color. Because I've only had a couple of instances of not putting the stitches in correct, but I don't want this one to get away from me, especially with doing it as 20 count. It is a little smaller than I'm used to. So I do need to get that one fully kitted up. So where does that leave us? I hear you ask. That is a very good question. So, on this right hand side of my chart, I have one person No, I have 2 people. So Sunshine made it up to round 3. So she's going to get an extra 300 stitches into acorns and threads. So I need to finish that up, that'll be easy to take that to work and knock that one out. So I think one of my plans for the rest of today is going to be to kit the rest of that up and take that. And then I have one other person, Harpy Stitch, who just got knocked out at round 2. So she needs 300 stitches put into Wandering the Middle Earth, which will be lots of fun. I'm really looking forward to doing that. And then all of the left-hand side will be done until Saturday when we hit our quarterfinals. And so then I just will need to move on to the other side. And so the other side, I have Passing Time Creations, who chose Hogwarts. So that one needs 600 stitches. I have Cat, who just got knocked out, so she needs 300 stitches into Year of the Dragon. And then I have Nastasia, who is also in round 3, who needs 600 stitches put into Nostalgic Tarot Frame. So I will have much less stitches to put into these going forward, or at least much less projects to put stitches into going forward, but the stitches counts themselves will be going up from this point forward. Because like I said, any person who got to the quarterfinals has 300 stitches into their project just for that round. So that means that any project that got there got 600 stitches. And then the 2 projects that get to the finals will each earn an extra 400 stitches. And then the final will get an extra 500 stitches. So that one project, which, unless there's a giant upset, I am feeling it's going to hit with Reese, will be 1,500 stitches. And I just want to say I've been having so much fun doing this. The community, going in and talking about that, having the friends join in on this. So I have decided that I will be doing it again in January for my birthday. I am going to try and have things talked about a lot more ahead of time, have things planned out, because I was still working most of this stuff out on the Saturday when it started. So I'm hoping that next time I can get some more stitches in and last a little bit longer, and just maybe have some more people join in, because this has been a lot of fun. So the 4 people that made it to the finals, Rise, Sunshine, Passing Time, and Nastasia, are all very close to being able to compete for the top 3 prizes, which are Padfolios made by me, and then the number 1 winner will get a Padfolio and a project bag. So we'll see the number of stitches that go in there to see who will be dubbed 4th place and who will be dubbed 3rd place, and to see who gets in there. If you go up on Saturday, I will put up a post the same way I did last week. So if you want to go in there and vote to see who you think will win, I'm limiting it only to the people who are not actually in it. But if you go there and you vote, you can get 50 stitches put into that person's project if they win. So if you go in and you're like, oh, I think Natasha is going to make it to the finals, and she makes it to the finals, then that will get an extra 50 stitches. If you were one of the people who got knocked out and you make the judgment, I will put the extra 50 stitches instead into your project. So that's where we currently stand on it. Thank you all for following along and having fun with me, and thank you so much to all of the people who have joined and stitched and had fun with me on this. And so I will be back on Saturday to hopefully show you some more of the stitches I put in. I would like to say that oh god, I think I forgot to write that one down. Well, let me do some quick math on the calculator really fast. I did put in 1,691 stitches, so I did hit my goal for the 1,600 stitches, even if it wasn't into all 12 of the projects. And so I am hoping to do the same for next week and keep it going and not fall too far behind. So we will see how we get, and I will talk to you all again on Saturday. Thank you for following.